Oh, the journey is finally at its end. Hello, my fellow Eorzeans. I have finished all of these damn Around Reborn relics. Oh my god. The Scholar. Here we are. The Omnilex, I believe is what it's called. Just a nice, beautiful white book. It's got lovely little writing inside as well. It's very different to the Summoner book you see. I love this extra little bit of a flap that is on the tome as well, which is probably not quite the term you want to be using. But when you close it, it like covers around and actually acts as like an extra lock. As you do that, you can see it here. You can't really see it on the other side because it's a little bit closed, but whatever. It's still looking pretty damn good. In fact, no, that is the side, sorry. There's nothing special on the spine, except you can see the sort of the belts which are kind of going around it, just to kind of keep the tome together and just nice and neat. Got a little bit of a red thing on there, and there's a feather for tickling your enemies to death while you hit them with the, the book. Because did you know that both with Summoner and Scholar as well, that in fact every caster, you can still melee while you're casting as well. And that extra bit of DPS could mean the world. Doesn't matter if it misses or does like even 1 damage. That's still damage. If it misses, well, that's just a hit that you didn't try hard enough to get. Anyway, let's move on to the next stage, which of course is where the shininess starts to begin, because we like shinies, and what do we like more than regular shinies? Shiny books. Oh yes, oh yes. Alright, we have the Omnilex Zenith here. It is starting to get a little bit of shiny. It's nothing too blinding at the moment, you know. You don't need to really like replace your eyes anytime soon like the Summoner book was. Oh boy. But instead, one thing which is rather interesting with this book is, instead of it exuding what feels like green healing energies, it's exuding a sort of light purple energy instead, which is quite intriguing. Obviously, for those who don't know a little bit with the Scholars as well, they're the Tonberries, or at least the Tonberries used to be the Scholars from the Wanderer's Palace, which I'm currently have the tune on in the background for the hard mode of that dungeon. I do not actually have the orchestral roll for the normal one yet. I really should get it. But let's move on, where of course the one thing which I know we're all excited to see, and we're always champing at the bit to see happen with these Around Reborn relics, is the palette swap. What colours will change? What's going to happen to this relic? And what will stay in this colour until, like, it turns into the Zodiac weapon? Mysteries within. But the book will get shinier, and it will be wonderful. Let's get to it. The Omnilex Atma is now before your eyes, which it actually has a few details they failed to notice before in its previous colour thing. But now the tome is no longer white. It is indeed a black tome, or at least a sort of much darker tome with a bit of a red inlay, which is quite nice indeed. I appreciate it, I approve. The gems are now red and blue, just like the eyes of a certain elegant individual who a lot of people enjoy and appreciate. I will remain nameless for those who are potentially going for spoilers. The feather is now a red feather, like a phoenix's feather. I don't think it's supposed to be a phoenix's feather, but, it might as well be. And I did not originally notice this in its previous iteration, but there's actually a book also attached to this book, which is actually what is being held in place right there by all the straps. I didn't notice because the shade of the book was almost identical to what the book was itself. So that's pretty cool, because, scholars are scholars, and they always need more education. The inside of the writing isn't really changed, it's pretty much still the same. But anyway, you know what we're here for. Let's get on to the next one, where it's gonna be the Animus, I believe it is, where it's nothing but... How blindingly bright is it going to be? Because the Summoner book was really bright. Let's find out. Yeah, it's kind of bright. Here we go, the Omnilex Animus, which... To be fair, compared to the Summoner book, I think the actual glow up when it starts, when you start investing into it, is better initially. It doesn't feel like it's completely blinding you. It's still like there's a star at the center of your book, but the actual ethereal energy that is emanating from it is more like a sort of a spa. it's definitely going to be burning your face. Like, I love that it's just sort of like exuding out and is washing over the reader. But it's nice. It's a nice sort of thing. It's like we're looking into the very star system itself. That's what it reminds me of. It's like a galaxy that's coming out of this book. It looks really, really good. But how much better does it get? Let's go to the Novus version, because that is the next version. Oh, this is the bit where it gets really shiny. Usually. Yep, that's shiny. Honestly, if I wasn't told that this was the, Omnilex Novus, I wouldn't be able to really tell the difference, personally, in all honesty, at first glance, compared to the previous Animus version. It's still pretty cool, but what is different with this one compared to the previous version is it's more shiny. As you can see, the actual star, which I will always call it a star with these books, or just whatever you want to call it, it is really, really, really bright right here at the center of everything. It is just, god damn, it's shiny. And I see little specks of Aether just sort of like coming off of this book as well and just dissipating into the pure ether that is around. We're almost near the end of this version until we get to the Zodiac weapon. We have remaining for us the Nexus, which is coming up next. Oh yes. Oh yes. Right, here we are. We have ourselves the Omnilex Nexus, which for some bizarre reason is emanating blue fire from it now. Which, I mean, quite frankly, the Scholar Relic does look better at this stage, at least, compared to the Summoner one. But I still like the Summoner's final version. But you know what? They're doing good. They do good with shiny books, okay? They do good. It has the same motif as well, where the sort of circle of energy is both like, on the inside the book and on the outside the book. Which I quite like what it does. But it's like, you know what, if you're out there in Corvus or anywhere that is really cold and you're thinking, damn, I wish I had a portable heater with me or something to keep me warm on these snowy climates, get yourself this relic. This relic will keep you warm, and it might also burn off your face, but that's just the risk you have to take. It really is. If you wish to sort of, stay toasty and want to get this relic, sometimes you just gotta take it. Just accept that maybe this little star that you're holding in your hand is going to obliterate your face and everything around you. Sadly, it is not that potent when it comes to slapping an enemy with this book. But anyway, we're on to now the last and final form of this relic, which will be the Zodiac, which has a very fitting name indeed. Let's get to it. Alright, here we go. Here's the Zodiac relic. First things first, this is called the Last Resort. Second thing, if you haven't noticed already, it has itself the crystal, which the Summoner book has as well, right here at the top, which I think is quite nice. You know what else is similar to what the Summoner one is as well? Remember how the Summoner one was like a demonic book? This is like an angelic book. It has the feathery wings right at the top. It's white, and quite frankly, if I am completely honest, this book is better than the White Mage Relic's final version. The Nirvana. Last Resort is better than Nirvana. And the lore is better too. Like, Nirvana was something to do with like some monks eating penance, and this is like literally the last resort of the scholars used of the Wondrous Palace. I forget what their nation was called, because it's been a while. Which is like, this is what had all of their tactics and stuff that they were going to use to sort of like try and fight back the final onslaught and stuff until the plague hit, sadly. So yeah, something along those lines anyway. I'm vaguely remembering this from the Eorzean Encyclopedia, but still, it's really nice. It is a really good book. This is something you would happily read to your kids at night, because this book isn't going to terrify anybody, nor will it cause you to go insane. What's the main thing which we're looking forward to? Oh yes, I know what it is. It's the Zodiac Zeta version of the Last Resort. Let's have a look. I don't remember what the actual glow up of this is. I don't think I ever looked at it properly. But let's go. Here we are. The Last Resort Zeta. To put my point even more forth, it has that angelic type of look to it. The book is spitting out feathers for the love of all that is holy and Zodiac. It is just... the crystal is where the actual sort of the special shininess is like coming from. I honestly think this relic had the most attention to detail put to it, because the fact that it's just all come from that crystal is just icing on the cake. And the fact that the feathers are just coming out as well, like, it gives the illusion they're coming out of the book itself, but they're not. They're actually coming out from the crystal, but it's looking like it's coming out from it's coming there. It's just really good. In fact, it's not even the crystal it's coming out of. It's coming out of the shiny bits that it's coming from the crystal. Like, this ring here is spitting the feathers out. It's like a portal into the realm of the gods where the angels reside. It is, once again, fantastic looking. I am not a fan of Scholar, but this book is really, really good. If you're gonna go for any relic out of the healers, I absolutely implore you to go for the Scholar one, especially if you really enjoy Scholar. Like I said, this aesthetic right here, it's like a maze coming out of the crystal. I didn't even realize that till now, that you got all the different things, and then you got the feathers, and it's just really, really nice. And depending on your glamour as well, you could really make this work very lovingly as a sort of like Sin Eater type thing too. But that is every single damn relic of a realm reborn done. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, if you have watched every single one of my relic videos so far. I hope that I have been improving as I have gone. There will be lots more content coming on this channel down the line. Once again, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Check us out on twitch.tv/Wobsy, where I do work on relics and I also work on other things too. Potentially by the time this video goes live, I will have completed a few more Eureka relics, but I also extremely look forward to the Endwalker ones, and I really need to work on some of the more Shadowbringer ones as well. But the Shadowbringer ones are a less priority currently, because they're such a pain to go for. Eureka is going to take a while, but it's going to be worth it. Anyway, take care, have a great day, and the rest of your 2022 be merry. And I look forward to 2023. I really do. See you in the anime relics.